So one of the concepts this way is that when we're playing the full guard and he's got no interest in opening up his guard, so he's got his legs squeezed nice and tight. Once my hand's here, the more I go backwards, this hand becomes null and void because it can't do any more. That's that full extension. So what I try and do is I try and get my hands to the belt, but I can't get my knees on the inside because his legs are on the way, right? So I spread my knees, I create space, and I put my elbows on the inside. If I push backwards, it's not going to open the legs. So what I'm going to do is my knee, not my foot, slides. The knee comes in, and now what I'm doing is I'm doing a cat stretch. So I'm pushing my hands down, so I'm not pushing this way. It's more like my elbows are coming down and I'm stretching my hips backwards to open up the guard. But I've got to be off centre. So once again, is when here, I can't get my elbows on the inside because there's no space. So 1 and 2. And it's got that really strong guard and having a lot of trouble issuing. So is my knee slides 45 degrees backwards, my foot comes in. If they've got really long legs, I might need to rinse and repeat this again. So now I'll put my forearms down and I'll shove my arms backwards. Now, he's going to try and close his guard, so I've got to make sure that this pushes so that he can't close his guard. Does that kind of make sense? So, from here, elbows, so I go 1 and 2, my knee comes out, my knee goes in, and I'm going to go flat with my, sorry, I've done flat, and push from here. Once it's done, I just grab a little space, so I just shove it, put my elbows on the inside. Okay. We'll put the time on for 2 minutes to just practice that. 1, 2, 3, let's go. So he's got his full guard. Now once again, is the traditional is this. And as I'm trying to push backwards, it's got a really strong guard. I'm having a lot of issues doing this. The downfall is I can push back with this arm, but this arm becomes null and void because it's that full extension. This also becomes susceptible to the arm bars and chokes. So what I'm doing is I bring my arm in, and I'm going to crunch my elbows in, and I'm on the inside from here. So if Giuseppe tries to break me forward, pull me forward. Does that make sense? So I'm seeing some of you guys, you're here, yeah, you're going to get broken down. So what I'm trying to do is get my elbows on the inside. I'm trying to get my butt down low. So as he pulls forward. So what I'm doing is this, is I slide my knee 45 degrees out and I come in, but I'm still square. I'm seeing some of you guys, you're doing that, you've got to get square. So I really want you guys to focus on, I'm still square, I'm a square. Slide. If Giuseppe's strong, which she is. So elbows come in, I'm here. 45, push, too strong. 45, push, okay. So now, really easy, elbows come in. Push it down. Really hard for him to get his guard back. So the thing that I'm seeing, the issue I'm seeing is as you guys are sliding your knee backwards, you're tall. So it's more about I'm going to go elbows in, butt low. Slide, kind of stay forward, knee. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Stop, yep, just quick.
Sorry,
Yep.
when I'm trying to make my knee really difficult, I find if I go roll down, do it.
Yeah.
Is that okay or am I doing something?
Yeah, nah, you're not going to be able to push backwards. So this is the issue, right? So you're sitting here, right? And as I try to get my elbows in, there's no space.
Yeah.
So I put your knees up. And now you can sit back in the valley.
If I push my head low,
Yeah, but now what's going to happen is just going to start to feed my collar, the collar chokes.
Yeah.
And as soon as the hand goes to my collar, I've got to defend the collar chokes. So you're much better off kind of going, I can't get my elbows in, sit down, 1 and 2. So now, yeah. So now, 45 here, and you find that's a really good way to open the guard.
so we can't reach.
That's fine. Yeah. Change partners, 1, 2, 3. Go again. 2 minutes. So So we're going to have a quick look at this, and I just got Flint. So one of the things that happens a lot is I'm in here, my elbows come in, I drop my hips, and I'm here, and I go off center, and I'm here. I'm like, man, this guy's up. So as I go to push the leg down, this got sleep control. I just jams that sleep down, and boom, and all of a sudden I'm like, man. So one of the reasons why I don't want to let go of the belt is I don't want him to tip me into the triangle. Because this is actually better for him to get the triangle, because I've set the triangle up. So what I want to do is once I'm here, elbows in, knees wide, move, and I'm here. So let's just say that, oh man, this guy's super tough, I'm having issues. I'm now going to go, I'm going to push backwards as far as I can, I pop my knee. But I keep this tight so he can't go to De La Heave. I don't want to out where wide we can go to De La Heave and reverse De La Heave, so I keep it tight. But I've still got the belt, right? So it's hard for him to sweep me because I've got the controls from me. It's hard for him to get the De La Heave because I've got the elbow. Not impossible, but hard. So what I'm saying is some of you guys, you get into the position, so I want to create as much space between my hips and his hips. Elbows come in, back, 45, having trouble, pop. This way, and I'm on my toes, so I can move. And I'm here. We're just going to go a minute, guys, and screw this out for a minute. So I'm in the guard, I've got the belt, I'm here, I go from here nice and low, push it. So what I'm doing is to pet my knee, I put my weight backwards and I come this way. So that I'm here. What I'm seeing, some of the guys, you're trying to come forward, you're going to get swept. And this is a really hard mechanic too when they're pulling you forwards. So because I've got the belt and I've come out to the side, it's easy to come to this stance here, but I try and keep my heel raised so I'm nice and flat. This gives me the ability to stand if I want to pass, I can sit, I can switch it left and right. So the issue that I see that people have, come around this side, guys, it's easy. Is you think about it this way, right? So I'm inside the guard, I've got their belt, I drop my hips, leg goes backwards, push. I'm pushing backwards. So what I'm seeing some guys do, you're trying to come up to come on that foot. You want to kind of go here, so that my head never travels center line. And I've got that backing base from here. So everything on this guard pass is backwards. Simon, can I grab you, please? So inside the full guard. So what's going is I've got the controls. I drop down nice and low from here. 1, off center, 2, and I'm here. So this is the part that I'm going to dictate. I try to keep his foot off my hips. 1, 2, start to drive forward to pass the guard. I originally called this the Superman guard pass. It's quite a dynamic pass. I normally knee straight through their stomach, to be honest, but for this,
Right instead.
yeah, well. So once I'm here and I get these controls and I'm down nice and low. So 1, 2, 1, 2, pop it, slide backwards and come through. So what I'm doing is I change my grips from here. Now, I don't want him to be able to close his guard or the half guard. So the best way is for me to pin that leg. So it's really hard for him to catch the guard, half guard. The way that I normally do this is I normally cut the head now and I just start, yeah. So he kind of goes, I don't want to be here. He pushes to get away and I get this guard pass. So the concept is I'm going to split him up. It's very, very hard for him to catch the half guard and I'm powering through. I call this Superman pass. I use this quite a fair bit against the bigger, stronger opponents, and I have very, very high success with this. So, here, so because they're bigger and short, they keep breaking me down, so I kind of go, no drama, I'll stay here. Right. Right leg, left leg, right leg, great space, great corporate. But I'm here, so I'm not here. I'm here. Okay. I shoot, I grab hold. What I'm doing is I turn this so that I've got control. My knee hits the ground, my knee steps up. So I've kept control of the leg from here. What I normally do now, and I'm going to be quite nice, is I start to be like a Superman, like a real life Superman. So I go Superman and I start to float. So I stretch, so I'm 100% balanced on my partner. All my weight's on him. As I start spinning, he normally goes, I don't want to be here, and he'll push me past the guard. So I'm kind of flying over him. That's me being nice, but it's quite a nasty guard pass once I get this kind of pressure. Most of the people I do this to in full mode want me to pass the guard.
So I would have given you the guard. I would have let
Yeah.
you pass. I was so hard.
Yeah, and that's still me only like 20 or 30%.
Yeah.
So the key factor, Josh, look at you. My knee goes to the ground, I step up. So I swap my stance, but I'm coming forward as I do it. So, one knee goes down, the other one comes up. Hold, float. Oh. Okay. Play around, someone your own size, 3 minutes, 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to shortcut the 65, so I'll come to this position and I'm here. So number one is that if my elbows flare, he's going to break me down, right? Yeah. So what I'm trying to do from here is, when I grab this, I turn it in, so it's this way here. The second thing about it is, to make the force is, if I put him up into me, it doesn't do a lot. So what I'm trying to do is, when I get hold of this, is I'm here, and I step. So I'm just punching him, double punching the chest. To make it work is, I walk that leg and I stretch him up. So he doesn't want to be here. So all I'm going to do from him is, I load the spring up, he goes trying to be, and I go pop, goes past the gut. But I've pinned him, so it's hard for him to move left, right, and there's a copious amount of pressure onto the chest as well. The more that my arms are out, the less control I have and the less spring I have. So I want this mechanic this way so I can get the control. The second thing, the second reason why I pass this way. So here, elbows in. So I step up, and my partner, he's pretty strong, and I'm having issues with this. I switch my grip and I command up, so I can now hold him to pass to the left or to the right. And this, I'm being super nice, but this is uncomfortable. But I'm not letting go of this grip here. I see a lot of people that reach for the head. I'm losing that contact. I like this. And all I start to do is I like to just turn my body left or right. Doesn't make any difference to me. So, here, combat stance, head behind the knee, change the grips, lock them into position, drop my left knee out nice and wide, so not towards his hand, drop my left knee out. When I'm stepping up from here, I put all my weight onto my hands so that my leg becomes light. Step wide. And it's really weird, I had people scoop underneath that leg, like just locking yourself in position. So now I just start to drop my hips down. So my hips down, down, down. He's just going to go, I don't want to be here. I'll float, I had to like, I don't want to drop and I pin him. When I pin him, like, don't go to mount, you're better off going to the side on this one. Load him up. Step up.
What's the best defense for him after that?
Don't let me pass the guard would be a good defense.
Yeah, I know.
The defense of this, hand fight. Hand fight.
Stop you getting ripped.
I'm still gonna, I've got options from there, but once I get that control, I can try control it and I continue. You've got to hand fight me on that. Okay, let's try it. One more time. Silence. So on a longer body, right, the leverage points are different, but I don't change how I pass. On a longer body, leverage points are different. So here, so I'm shooting to here. Right, so a roll. This is the part I see people are used to. Is watch what I do. All my weight goes onto my hands. I step. And I've only got one thing on the ground. Everything else is floating. He's loving this. Watch. Put it all here. Pop. That. So, just to show something, like, yeah, I've hooked your leg. You can't catch the half guard. So what happened was I got to the stage where I'd get to here quite a fair bit. And what people would start to do is they'd block the shoulder. So I'd have trouble. So what I started to do then, I started to go like this. Pass, which was my Tori pass. So I modified the Superman into my Tori. Let's go again, guys. 1, 2, 3. This is an option that I have when I start to play this, but if you can't get the mechanics and the hip position right for the first one, you're going to have a hard time. They're going to fake to half guard really easy on you. So I'm inside and I'm just passing the same way for the class, so it's exactly the same way constantly for the class. So I popped out nice and tight from here. I pop my knee, I'm here. So I'm making sure that when I do my combat stance, that my head doesn't travel over. And what I'm trying to do is I'm always up on my toes. Yep. I got the control. So what I'm doing is I put all my weight onto my partner through my knuckles, but my elbows on the inside. Here. Step up. So this time what's going to happen is I go like this. I use my elbow, swing, I come here. And I'm basically just going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to pass through or I'm going to pass under. So a lot of the time that I'm here, he's going to try and, because as I'm stepping up, he's going to try and get that knee through the front. So I'm like, dramas, and I can start to play the game. But if I come here and my hips and elbows, it tries to get in front, there's no way. Where if I'm here, does that make sense? So one of the reasons why I want to be in this position is it's here. So I kind of go, put all my weight here, back step, and here. Grab, float, knee ride, whatever you want to do from here. So that would be the option I'd use. And the reason why my elbow's on the inside, it gives me more options. I normally get the tap. I don't normally get the gap, I normally get the tap of that one. There's been a lot of people that are using that style of passing recently in the ADCC and things like that as well, where they're going through the middle. The main reason being is if I'm spread here, I'm caught flat on my back. It's harder for me to move. Where if you're turning my legs to the side, at least I have the ability to move. So if you spread me up and catch me this way, it's very hard for me to move off my back. And once you compress these, I've got nowhere to go. So that's quite an efficient guard pass to control them as well. So just a small detail is, so I've got my combat stance, I'm up, make sure my elbow's on the inside, step up from here, I use the elbow, back step. The key thing on this one is this, as I'm passing, is my knees are going to the ground so I can control. I'm not trying to push them out. So I normally go, so I'm being super nice. So from here, and it's got the same options, guys, where I can go here, kick, to my control. Let's have a quick shot of that, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm just trying to be nice to you, Tim. I'm so sorry.
No, that was perfect. It was professional.
Thank you.